for the cooperation in development of renewable energy. Due to several factors, the country has recently experienced shortages of fuel, and I'm happy to note that the shortages are coming down, and an importer of petroleum products 100%. We remain vulnerable to several forces beyond our control. However, with the final investment decision taken today, such incidences should be a thing of the past. We will be able to sit down and plan accordingly. That is why, as government, we continue to plan for the development of a refinery, which will be processing 60,000 barrels per day. We hope we shall be able to strategically plan for our fuel security. I'd like to thank everyone who has graced this important ceremony, but I cannot end without thanking the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, who has been unable to be with us because of the work she's supposed to do at Parliament. She moved very well with full support when we were passing the required legislation. The Leader of Opposition, Right Honorable Mpa, was also very influential in making sure that both the opposition and government, we appreciate the need for the amendments to the Public Finance Management Act and the ECO bill. I am so grateful. The members of the Natural Resource Committee and the Committee on Finance, I am so grateful for the role you played so that the relevant legislation is in place. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the opportunity you gave me to lead the team, which is so determined to make sure that the industry is live. I want to end here, and I wish you all the best for God and my country. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Honourable Minister. May I now invite the Permanent Secretary to come and take us through the memorandum, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Renewables between the Ministry and Total Energies EP, as I invite the Honourable Minister and the General Manager Total Energies, Philippe Gruex, to make their way to the signing table.
Your Excellencies, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Given the global movement to the development of renewable energies and the need to address issues to do with climate change, we are seeing a number of international oil companies transforming from just being oil and gas companies into the renewable energy industry. Total Energies has just rebranded from Total to Total Energies to speak to this global movement. So Total Energies is expanding its portfolio in Uganda to venture into the renewable energy space. So today we'll execute a memorandum of understanding between the government of the Republic of Uganda, represented by the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, and Total Energies Uganda BV, for collaboration towards ensuring energy security and transition through deployment of large-scale renewable energy development projects. One objective of the Memorandum of Understanding is to advance renewable energy technologies and innovation through identification of areas for collaborative research and development of commercial solar, both photovoltaic and concentrate the loss of venture into wind, geothermal, low carbon hydrogen, and grid modernization technologies, with a target of developing 1 gigawatt of installed capacity by 2030. Your Excellencies, that's the purpose of the Memorandum of Understanding. Thank you.
For the benefit of those watching at home, please note that the two representing the government of Uganda is the Honorable Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, the Honorable Ruth Nankabira, and the General Manager, Total Energies EP Uganda, Philip Gruex. Immediately after signing, the two parties will have a photo moment for members of the Fourth Estate, and we will have that managed by our protocol team. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, I will welcome you to turn to the screens as I prepare the team to run you through Uganda's journey to fast oil. That's a documentary that will be running very shortly, immediately after this signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding on Renewables between the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and Total Energies EP Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. We want to thank Total Energies Uganda and the Ministry of Energy for another milestone we will be celebrating, and we begin today here, signing of this memorandum. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you to turn to the screen. We have a documentary we are going to run for you on Uganda's journey to the fast oil.
Uganda, the pearl of Africa, is home to vast savannas, abundant wildlife, and a diverse group of people with rich cultures. In 2006, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni announced that Uganda had discovered oil after years of exploration in the country's western region.
On the 6th of January 2006, when a commercial discovery was made, many countries drill, but the commercial discoveries, we had national thanksgiving prayer led by the president of Uganda. There was also the president of Burundi.
The oil and gas resources that have been discovered in Uganda are close to 6.5 billion barrels of oil. And as you are aware, there's nowhere in the world you ever recover everything from the ground because of the technology and the type of oil fields they are in. For Uganda, we expect to recover about 1.4 billion barrels out of those 6.5 billion barrels that have been discovered.
The Albertine Graben, also known as the Lake Albert Basin, lies on the western border of Uganda and the eastern border of the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
The amount of money that has been invested so far in exploration and appraisal is somewhere around $3.8 billion. And this $3.8 billion has been used to find 6.5 billion barrels of oil. The cost of finding oil in Uganda is very low. It's less than $1 per barrel. This is a very interesting number because around the world, actually, we find that finding costs of oil in other parts around the world are actually around $5. So you can see that the aspect of managing costs has been done well by Uganda so far.
Resources to be developed in this graben are for the Lake Albert Development Project, which encompasses the Tilenga project, operated by Total Energies EP Uganda with 56.67%, and the Kingfisher project, operated by CNUC with 28.33%, both in a joint venture partnership with Uganda National Oil Company with 15%, on behalf of the government of Uganda, with the Petroleum Authority of Uganda as the regulator.
The creation of these institutions was so well carefully studied before they were created. And they were thoroughly scrutinized and established.
The journey has been slow but sure, and the basics have been put in place, like the needed agreements. The needed agreements are in place. The law now regarding the transportation of the crude oil is in place, and we are about to see a final investment decision being taken into that pipeline. We are moving on well on the refinery part. We have been moving and making sure that all the requirement is in place.
Located in Bulisa and Nwoya districts in western Uganda, the Tilenga project is an upstream development with a capacity of 204,000 barrels of oil per day. The name Tilenga is a derivative of two local names for the Uganda cob, Til in Acholi Alur and Engabi in Lugungu. The name is based on the Uganda cob, which is the national emblem, to symbolize the project's national significance to the country. The project covers 6 oil fields.
These projects, of course, are important not only for the country but for Total Energy as well, to showcase really our commitment, our ability to develop oil resources at low cost with low carbon footprint. And today, the greenhouse gas emission intensity of 13 kilograms per barrel is much lower than our current average in our portfolio. Minimizing the impact on the environment has driven the design of the whole project, with really the ambition to produce a net positive impact on biodiversity.
With approximately 400 wells that will be drilled over 31 well pads.
During this period, the national content has been at the heart of activity, with already more than 160 Ugandan companies directly involved in the Tilenga project.
Other main project installations include a central processing facility, well pads, oil wells, flow lines, a lake water abstraction facility, a feeder line, and support bases.
The mitigation of the impact of the affected local communities has been a priority for us. The first step, of course, has been to establish with the authorities a transparent process to ensure a fair compensation to all the project affected persons. But our commitment goes obviously far beyond that. Our objective is to improve the livelihood of all our PAPs. And this can be achieved through a global livelihood restoration plan.
Kingfisher Field Development Area is spread over approximately 344 kilometers in the Lake Albert Rift Basin in western Uganda. The oil field is situated on the eastern bank of Lake Albert, acts as a border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It was discovered by the Kingfisher 1 wildcat well in 2006. The Kingfisher project is planned to develop the Kingfisher, Mputa, Nzizi, and Waraga fields. The project will produce 40,000 barrels of oil per day during peak production. The crude will be treated at a central processing facility, CPF, located on the southeastern shores of Lake Albert. The Kingfisher development wells will be highly deviated wells from onshore surface locations targeting the offshore reservoirs. The production and processing facilities of the project will be located on the Buhuka Flats at the shores of Lake Albert in the Kikube district of Uganda.
ESIA report has been carried out by the third party and has already approved by the relevant Uganda authorities. The ESIA process involves all stakeholder public hearings and all land required for the project has been done in compliance of national relevant legislation and international best practice, particularly IFC performance standard.
The government of Uganda has plans of commercialization of the discovered oil resources, including the phased development of a refinery, use of crude oil to generate power, and export of crude oil to the rest of the world market via the East African crude oil pipeline. A 1,443-kilometer crude oil pipeline that will transport Uganda's crude oil from Kabale Hoima in Uganda to Chongoleani Peninsula near Tanga Port in Tanzania. The pipeline route was selected by the government of Uganda as the least costing and most robust route. The pipeline will be buried to minimize impact on the environment, with some facilities above the ground designed to ensure minimal environmental and social impact. The project is compliant with the Ugandan and Tanzanian national legislations and international requirements.
Done what's called ESIA, so environmental
Mr. Patrick Poyen, Chairman and CEO of Total Energy, Proskovia Nabanja, the CEO of UNOC, Mr. Chen, the President of CNOC Uganda, ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. Your Excellencies, Heads of State, I'm honored and humbled to stand before you on this remarkable day as our two countries make another milestone towards realization of the East African crude oil project. Today's event marks a crucial step towards the implementation of the project, and it reflects shareholders' commitment in achieving the promise made here in Uganda on the 11th of April last year, when we signed the shareholders' agreement. Your Excellencies, Heads of State, on behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, the Tanzanian Petroleum Development Corporation, as a shareholder for the ECO project, has been tasked to undertake numerous activities to ensure timely implementation of the project. Together with our counterparts, we have worked tirelessly day and night to make sure that we meet tight deadlines, because we clearly understood the high expectations from our people in reaping benefits that come along with this project. Your Excellencies, Heads of State, we are fully aware and understand your ambitions to see people from our two countries benefit from this project. Through engagement of local governments and the communities along the pipeline route, we have continued to raise awareness and at the same time preparing local communities for their participation in this very important project. Much so, we have made initiatives to empower locals to be able to competitively participate in various project tenders. We have also provided sponsorships opportunities to young technicians to develop their skills in areas related to project requirements during construction and operation phases. Your Excellencies, Heads of State, implementation of these cross-border projects builds a strong alliance between our two countries, and more importantly, it puts the two countries very strategically on the world energy map. We are positioning the two countries from East Africa high on the list of countries with the state-of-the-art energy infrastructure. Considering the investment costs of the project, we believe that it will have a positive effect to our generation for many years to come. Your Excellencies, Head of State, allow me once again to sincerely convey my appreciation for being here today to mark this important project milestone. It's our courage and the guidance that has steered us to reach this far, and we are determined to achieve the desired objective for the project, and therefore the development of our two countries with our heart. Asanteni sana.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to let you know that today is the first day of the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, and this is the year of the tiger, and there could never have been a more significant day for CNOC to be part of this announcement on FID. So it gives me great pleasure to invite the President CNOC Uganda, Chen Xiaobao, who is here representing the Chairman CNOC, to come and make his remarks. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, Your Excellency, the President of United Republic of Tanzania, Your Excellency, Vice President of Uganda, Your Excellency, Ambassador and High Commissioner, Honorable Minister from Uganda and Tanzania, Honorable Member of Parliament, PS Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, the Executive Director, Petroleum Authority of Uganda, heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, distinguished guests from delegation of Tanzania, our partners, Total Energy and UNOC, TPDC. Good afternoon to you all in your different capabilities. Well, I must say that this is indeed an amazing day for all of us who are gathered here today, a day to celebrate and reflect upon how far we have come and the success we have achieved. Such a moment has been long awaited for this sector, and it gives me so much pleasure that it has finally come to pass. First and most, I thank you, Your Excellency, and the government team for the leadership and stewardship that you have accorded to us throughout this journey. You have been very supportive and give great direction in the matter of this sector, like taxation, operatorship, key agreements, among others. We appreciate this commitment to ensure sustainable development of the oil and gas resources in the country. I also wish to thank the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development for the diligence, the Petroleum Authority of Uganda for the great management and leadership, the NEMA team for the back and forth guidance throughout the process of ESIA and approval. The Bunelo Kitala Kingdom, local governments, and host communities for the support. Special appreciation goes to all those who contributed to this landmark. Thank you very much. Attending FID is a step towards first oil, which is expected earlier 2025. This is a step towards unlocking more opportunities for investment and development in the Uganda and the whole region. The Kingfish project is expected to fetch an in-country value of US dollar 1.6 billion, and US dollar 400 billion will be for the local service provider. With the close cooperation between the partners and contractor, we expect to enhance employment of Ugandans through direct in direct and induced job, training of workforce, and procurement of locally available goods and services. Once again, I wish to reiterate that CNOC Uganda Limited is and has always been a firm believer in being a responsible energy company, and that is exactly what we put into practice. All of our operations are in strict compliance with the relevant laws and regulations, and our operational protocol live up to the best practice of the industry. By doing so, we spare no effort to minimize our potential impacts and to protect the environment in each and every region in which we operate. We shall continue doing to ensure efficient and effective development.
Has been very busy for all our teams, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, I can tell you, including the last days. The key agreements were signed, enabling legislation were voted by parliaments, thank you, dear parliament members of Uganda and Tanzania. And today, the EACOP company is established with its shareholders, Total Energies, UNOC, TPDC, and CNOOC. And I would like again to publicly acknowledge and thank all the teams from both countries who have worked hard day and night under your guidance, Your Excellency President Museveni, and the guidance of President Samia Suluhu Hassan. And I will tell you, if we arrive today at this landmark event, it's because along the maybe too long journey since the last 10 years, we built the trust between the partners. And it's long to build trust, but I can think, and I'm really proud that we built this trust, allowing us to spend this $10 billion and to go to first oil. Tangible progress has already been made on the ground without waiting that day, with some land acquisitions, and already some civil works are starting on sites, and some engineering and procurement has been kicked off locally and around the world. But from today, with the FID, the project will fully enter into the construction phase, and we will award firmly all the main contracts of Tilenga, Kingfisher, and IACOP projects, and they will be signed in the coming days. Again, they represent a commitment of $10 billion by all the partners. The development of such a major projects for Uganda and Tanzania is, of course, major one and transformational for both countries. And our ambition is to make it an exemplary project in terms of shared prosperity, in-country value, and sustainable development. We are fully aware that these projects represent transformational opportunities for Uganda and Tanzania. They will lead to significant and enduring in-country value being created over the next 4 years of construction, but also during the next 20 years of planned production. The expectations of national content are very high, but very legitimate, Honourable Minister. And we are committed to be successful in this domain, in collaboration with the authorities, but also with the private sectors of both countries. For operations worldwide, the national content and participation, active participation of local companies is critical to the success of such large projects. These projects will require as well significant land acquisitions program. And we have a close attention to the rights of the local communities is a must. And a fair land acquisition process has been developed with the authorities of Uganda and Tanzania and in compliance with all the performance standards of the international finance corporations. For the government of Uganda and Tanzania, as well as for Total Energies, taking high care of the local communities is a top priority since the beginning of the project, and it will continue during the duration and the execution of the construction phase and the production. Some tangible initiatives have already been launched in the Bulisa district on livelihood improvement, proposing training and activities linked to agriculture for cassava and vegetables growing or apiary, and supporting people in managing their budgets. We are also very conscious of the sensitivities of the areas where we are going to work, in particular from an environmental point of view. We are committed to leaving a positive environmental footprint, especially, of course, in the Murchison Forest Park, where together with our partners, we have the ambition to leave the environment in better condition than it was before the project began. On these matters, I confirm that we in Total Energy value the dialogue with local, national NGOs, and that they will be always welcome to visit our installations and projects. I would also like to mention that in our journey with Uganda and Tanzania, Total Energies has the ambition to become a privileged partner on new energies and renewables, like I said before. So that's why I was pleased to witness the signature of the MOU today. As a conclusion, this is a very historic day, the D-Day. But in fact, it's only the departure day. The departure day for teams to work hard to build the projects. And I think we should not forget it. We spent 10 years, we entered into Uganda in 2012 as Total Energies, Total by that time, to achieve this commitment today. We have 4 years now to build it. We should not forget it because before this day, it was a time of long negotiation, finding solid base for the projects. It's done. No, it's a time of execution. Industry is the art of execution, and time is money. So we must not lose a single day. And the only way to do it, to execute it, to support our teams in Uganda, in Tanzania, from Total Energies, CNOOC, UNOC, TPDC, is to be united and to keep in mind the trust we have built together. This is for me fundamental, because each day we will lose is not only not meeting the target that the chairman of UNOC set to us, it will also mean money and cost. So please keep the trust together and keep that in mind. It's my request today to all of you. I would like to conclude that, again, this day would not have been possible without the clear leadership involvement of President Museveni from Uganda. I will remember for long the night of November 2019, where both of us alone, we decided that we'll reach this FID, whatever it costs. That night, we founded the right foundation for the projects. And I thank you, Mr. President, for your trust as well. I would also reiterate my gratitude to President of Tanzania and Mr. Vice President. Tanzania, again, to produce the oil from Uganda, we need to have access to the sea. And the choice down to go to Tanzania by President Museveni, really, we met in Tanzania very committed people. And that day as well, we would not have been possible without your support in Tanzania. So thank you for your leadership and guidance and support to us. So, I've been a little long, but again, this is important. Final investment decisions, the commitment of my company and our partners. So thank you for your support again.
Surely we can do better than that. Another round of applause for Mr. Patrick Poyane. So this is the moment. You know, if it was a football match, this would probably be the last sport kick in extra time. Or this would be when you have drum rolls and fireworks and not the other one, and razzmatazz. So allow me to invite the Honorable Minister to make this, or to lead us through this grand announcement. So you're most welcome, Honorable Ruth Nakabira, to take us through what everybody has been waiting for. The excitement is palpable. I know everyone at home was waiting for this, so you're most welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies and colleagues. I looked at Mr. Ramadan Gobi, who is the Uganda's Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, as Mr. Patrick Poyane was speaking, and Gobi's head was nodding as Patrick was also nodding. I think what we are doing today means a lot to the Ministry of Finance. Thank you very much. I recognize Honorable Migereko, the former Minister of Energy, Uganda. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring our invitation and all that you did. Your Excellency, all what we have been doing has been the rituals. Ugandans and Tanzanians and the world is waiting for the announcement. And I know that many of us were asking themselves that we've listened to the CEOs of these companies. They have spoken, they have appreciated, but have they announced? We listened to Mr. Patrick Poyane, your commitments, but have you done the real announcement? So probably we have to do a ritual to appreciate this announcement. And after this ritual, I have a colleague with whom we are walking this journey. He's seated in the comfort zone. I will pull you out of that comfort zone, Honorable January Makamba, Minister of Energy from Tanzania, to also join me here. I would like now to invite the joint venture partners led by, of course, Total Energy CEO, Chairman Patrick Poyane, to move forward to make this final, clearly investment decision for the Tilenga, Kingfisher, and Eco project. I invite the General Manager, Total Energies, to also come forward, Total Energies Uganda, Mr. Philippe Gross. I would also like to invite the President. They are already inviting themselves. Thank you so much. Time is of essence. Proscovia, CEO UNOC, please come forward. Ugandans are waiting, and this is going to be a maiden activity in Uganda. We've never seen an FID being taken. I don't know how you are going to do it. My brother, you come forward, Minister. Don't stand with people with money. For us, we can be here.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, gentlemen, Chairman and CEO, Total Energies, have you announced? Ugandans are waiting for your deep voice to do the ritual.
So, in the name of the joint venture partners and in the name of Total Energies, I declare the final investment decision for the Lake Albert Development Projects, Tilenga, Kingfisher, and Eco projects.
Wow. If we were in Busoga, we will do the real thing. We would like you to remain on record that you have done it by a symbol of... yes, please. Can you please now stand in front and knock your elbows? Knock your elbows. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations, Your Excellency. Congratulations, the people of Uganda. Congratulations, the people of Tanzania. After that photograph, I would like to invite Honorable January Makamba just to tell us how you're feeling at this point. Please.
I feel humble.
As you are doing this ritual, and I would like you to please stay around as the President comes to do this ritual, commissioning the legacy publication on Uganda's journey to first oil. And after that, sir, you will be pleased to speak to us.
Mpango, the Vice President of Uganda, the Honorable Ministers of Uganda and Tanzania, the CEO of Total Energies, the CEO of CNOOC, the leaders of the oil groups, companies in Uganda, Tanzania, their Excellency ambassadors and high commissioners, and all the invited guests. Before I make my remarks, I would like to invite His Excellency Mpango to address you on behalf of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. Most welcome.
dedication by the two countries since the signing of the intergovernmental agreement on the construction of the East African crude oil pipeline project on the 26th of May 2017 and the successive agreements between our governments and the EACOP company. Your Excellency, Mr. President, the commendable progress made so far on the implementation of the East African crude oil pipeline project since your last visit to Dar es Salaam on the 27th of November 2021 is indeed impressive. We recall that together with Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, you directed the parties involved to quickly finalize pending matters for the formation of the EACOP project, for the formation of the EACOP company, and attainment of the final investment decision for the EACOP project. We are now pleased to see that the parties to the EACOP project have complied with that directive. On behalf of Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the government and the people of the United Republic of Tanzania commend the people of the Republic of Uganda under your leadership, Your Excellency, for the commitment and dedication exhibited towards the realization of the East African crude oil pipeline project. In the same vein, I applaud our partners, Total Energies and China National Offshore Oil Corporation, who have just sealed the deal today by announcing the final investment decision. Indeed, your guidance, support, and commitment has been the key to the success of this project and is greatly appreciated. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Rais. Your Excellencies, Tanzania and Uganda are bound together by a common heritage. And for this reason, our two countries have continued to enjoy excellent mutual relations and collaboration. By virtue of being close neighbors and founding members of the East African community, we have many common interests and a lot to share on bilateral basis. For instance, trade between our two countries has more than tripled to over $260 million in 2020 compared to the average for the past 5 years. In this regard, the implementation of this shared EACOP project further solidifies our cooperation, which has been nurtured and cemented for many years. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, with this project, the two countries are projected to realize a record level of foreign direct investment flows to the tune of US $3.5 billion over the period 2022 to 2025, which is an increase of over 60% compared to the current levels of foreign direct investment flows. The impact of such massive investment include employment estimated at more than 10,000 jobs, foreign exchange earnings in the form of dividends, and service receipts from handling project cargo that is estimated at over 500,000 tons of imported equipment. The pipeline will also provide business opportunities in various sectors, including construction, energy, and the like, which will eventually create a trickle-down effect and thus contributing to development of local content. In addition, the pipeline is expected to serve shippers of oil as well as manufacturing industry and thereby attract investors and companies in these sectors in our region. The investors will surely come with the much-needed international experiences and specialized skills for the nascent petroleum industry in our countries. Excellencies, distinguished guests, the multiple effects from the project will not only support our economic recovery, but also spur regional growth, which has been adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. As you are well aware, during the pandemic, the region experienced a slowdown in economic growth to an average rate of 2.3% in 2020, compared with an annual average rate of over 6% prior to the pandemic. Your Excellencies, these largely understated benefits illustrate the true value of our close cooperation and also demonstrate the validity of the famous Chinese proverb that says, "A good neighbor is a priceless treasure." Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania notes with great satisfaction and appreciation that based on technical, geographical, and commercial merit, as well as our experience in construction, operation, management of pipelines, the government of the Republic of Uganda and project developers preferred the Tanzania route for the pipeline. It is in the same spirit that the government of Tanzania has taken deliberate actions towards effective implementation of the project, including releasing 259.96 billion shillings to the Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation as part of equity participation in the EACOP company. We have amended relevant legislation as agreed in the host agreement. We have completed land compensation for 14 priority areas for the camps and cutting yards, and also paid land compensation for the pipeline corridor that traverses through 8 regions in Tanzania. In addition, on the 5th of November 2021, the project company handed over the project land to a Tanzanian contractor, i.e. Milembe Construction Limited, to start early civil works, which includes the clearance, leveling, and fencing areas in Bukombe, Sojo, Nzega, and Igunga. The civil works are expected to be completed in May this year, 2022. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, as it has been observed, all parties, including the peoples of the 2 countries, have had a particular responsibility to fulfill for successful implementation of this project. It is my humble plea to the people of the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of Tanzania to take ownership of the project. And this includes ensuring security of the pipeline, protection of the environment along the pipeline, and also reporting any incidents that may affect implementation of this project. May I also implore our customs departments in both countries, as well as related institutions, to ensure speedy clearance of imported equipment for this project for smooth implementation. Similarly, other parties, and especially the international oil companies, are reminded to adhere to labor laws, including avoidance of child labor, and ensure environmental sustainability and conservation in line with the environmental and social impact assessments. I'm therefore looking forward to hear that all partners are committed to implement this project in an exemplary manner, taking into consideration the ecology as well as local community rights. Your Excellencies, as I conclude, I would like to encourage our private sector to take advantage and participate in the value chain of these projects through joint ventures with regional and international partners and supply of inputs, physical, and skills. On the other hand, the international companies are encouraged to support supplier development by reducing the complexity to ease access by the local actors, build capacity at national and community level, and promote internships and attachment of citizens of the 2 countries, and especially the youth. We should keep in mind that the successful implementation of this project depends solely on the commitment and trust of all parties to act solemnly as expected. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to end my remarks by reiterating the commitment and readiness of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania to ensure effective implementation of the ECO project by providing the necessary support to all parties involved. May God bless the Republic of Uganda. May God bless the United Republic of Tanzania and the East African community. Excellencies, I thank you for your kind attention.
But they missed it. They couldn't get it. It was seepage in here, but coming from somewhere else. When I came into the government in 1986, I read the file where the commissioner of geology, of geological survey, a British, in 1956, he wrote and said it seemed the oil was there, but it evaporated and went away, and closed the file. I wish that file could be found and put in the museum by the commissioner, the British commissioner of geological services in 1956. Now, when we came into government in 1986, apparently Shell BP had again taken interest in the Lake Albert. I think what had sparked off new interest So I said, oh, these Africans, how Africa, kweli hawa. So I called back the Shell BP people, and I said, Shell BP, I have nobody on my side who knows anything about oil, so please go away. Let me first prepare myself. I cannot sign an agreement with you because I have nobody on my side who knows anything about oil. That's when I called the minister, Changomacho, was Minister of Minerals, and I told him, I said, what you do, you look for the young people who have done geology or physics or chemistry at Makerere. At that time we had only one university, and let them go for specialized studies in petroleum. Then we can come and engage these Shell BP. They moved fast. Apparently there was a PS called Mrs. Opio. I don't know why you never bring her here. She moved fast and go to those people, the one they were talking about. The Kabagambes, the Kashambuzis, and sent them for master's study of petroleum to Imperial College London, University of Aberdeen. At that time we had talked of Romania, we had also talked of Algeria, but they went, the one they introduced. You people stand up, the first group. Come forward here and they see you how you look like. Whether you are still alive or what. Introduce yourself and say where you studied. This is your day now.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. My name is Dr. Fred Kagambe.